Yes, welcome to Blackopolypse BPM. We host our Stalio. Today I got a great guest, Mr. CJ Lloyd Webley. Yes, my brother. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're all good. We're all good.
How's it going, man? How's it going?
All good. It's been a bit of a long day.
Really?
Yeah, it's just kind of had a great weekend, just chilling, relaxing. Bit of a walk in the park, did a bit of cycling, and then Monday hit and my emails just, I don't know what happened, but it was like everybody was just waiting for me to wake up in the morning.
Let me ask you this. How did you have a good weekend when we're in the middle of a pandemic? We ain't even allowed to do nothing.
Now, you know what it is? I bought a couple of cheap, me and my wife, we said, you know what, can't just keep sitting in the house watching Netflix. So I bought a couple of cheap bikes on eBay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and we just went cycling around the park and just it was quite just a little bit of a change. And that, I guess because it was a little bit of a change, it just made it feel a bit different. And yeah, you know, it's it's been all right. It's been all right. It was a nice weekend, to be fair.
Well, I hope you save some energy for the interview, man.
Yeah, man, I got energy to talk about this stuff.
All right, you're safe, man. So you're the leader, the founder of the Blackowned project.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Can you tell me what that is? I know what it is, but tell me, tell the people what that is.
Yeah, so the Black Pounds project was born out of frustration that I felt the Black community had been marginalized and pushed to the side and not kind of been able to access the resources and the education that we need, particularly when it pertains to financial literacy and business support. So, you know, I'm primarily a writer and a theatre director. So all of the work that I do in my, day-to-day life, what I've been doing since I was a child really has just been about trying to tell stories and paint pictures. But even in my industry, representation is quite poor for people of color. So, just transferring that to the business sector, it's still that same frustration that I feel. We have talent, we have the drive, we have the ambition, but I feel like there's this, at certain times we've been denied access to certain information and resources to allow us to grow. So this project was born out of that frustration, which is parallel to the theatre community and my artistry. But really, what the project does is we have a mentorship program which actually teaches business owners from a foundational level to an intermediate level to an advanced level of how to not only manage finance, but how to access it as well. And also different types of business support, whether it's, trying to become legally and regulatory compliant, across government, across the government kind of expectations, and also just how to scale your business as well. One thing I've learned during this process is that, a lot of us think we're operating small businesses, but the way the government sees it is a small business is actually someone who's turning over 500K plus. So that doesn't, so when all these government grants and everything are coming out saying, we've got grants for small businesses, and not actually talking about our kind of businesses, on a micro business level. So yeah, the project was kind of born out of that understanding that there's a lot of work to do. And if we really want to get to that small business level and then medium business, we've got to really access the information. And so the project is literally a hub where all the amazing people like Nigel, to really add that value and just really provide that information which we feel has been, kind of pushed to the side. So we're creating that hub and that network of people who have the expertise.
Yeah, man, you come to the right place, and that's why pretty much the reason why I started Blackopolypse, because I was like, we need a platform where we can get all people like you who's creative chance. Once Blackopolypse grows to its size that you will eventually grow to, I want to be able to offer people like you a chance to put yourself out there, and show everybody what you got. Because I feel like there's a lot of big YouTubers and like media outlets who don't really help other people. You know what I mean? I don't know if you noticed that. If you was to write something to some of your favorite YouTubers and say, yo, can I come on your show? Maybe you help me out. They won't even answer you like message. They won't answer your email or anything. Just like, yo, me and you are trying to make this happen. We're trying to bring the people up in our community finally.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of haters. So I was like, I'm going to start the same thing. And I'm gonna get everyone who I know who's on the cusp. I guess you're kind of higher actually, but like get everyone I know who's on the cusp and start trying to push everything up, you know what I mean, and make it happen. That's.
I mean, even when you say that though, it's even though I've got a network, you can always, there's always value that you can get from being in other spaces and on other networks. Sure. Nothing, I see it as adding value both ways, so if I promote this podcast to my networks, then that gives you more exposure and vice versa. So it's that collaboration approach, isn't it?
Sure. Sure. So anyway, I was thinking about the blackowned project, and I don't know if you know this, but like obviously when Black people spend their money, we spend it, we'll get money and then we'll quickly spend it out of our community. And what I mean by that is basically I won't go to a Jamaican. Obviously, I'm Jamaican. I guess, are you Jamaican too?
Yeah, Caribbean.
Yeah, so we're from Caribbean. We won't go to Caribbean. We'll probably go to like local, obviously be based in England, like Asda or Tesco's or somewhere like this, and give our money straight to these guys. When realistically we want to set up our own Asda and Tesco's, Blasco's and and Blazda. You know what I mean? The black version. And keep the money in the community, because that's something that I think that's one of the economics. I think that's one thing that we're missing is economics. Yeah. Economics, then political leaders. That's what we need. The two things we need to get a hold of quickly. So I guess with this project, Black Pound project, that's a way of getting businesses together, especially, I think it's mainly for Black businesses, mainly. Not excluding everybody else, but you know what I mean? Like, say Blackopolypse, I have Americans and Europeans on my podcast too, but I'm like, if I can, I'm gonna try and, elevate my family, you know what I mean, before anybody else, simply because we're the ones who need help.
That's it. It's not about exclusion. It's about saying there's things that other communities do well, and in order for us to learn, because obviously our experience is different, we want to kind of say, okay, well, that's what that community has done. They've done that well. They know how to kind of market themselves to each other in a way that's not divisive. You can go down Soho Road in Birmingham and you got all Asian shops down that road. And they're all competing with each other, but it's collaboratively, they're working together in that competition. And I think that's something that we can definitely learn from. But I think it's going to take a little bit of time before we kind of develop that ethos and that mentality. So it will, it's not everybody that's going to want to go that approach. Some people are kind of stuck in their ways and they're kind of think, I'm going to do this alone. And that's fine if that's the approach they want to take. But I think there's, as you mentioned, there's strength in numbers and there's strength in connecting with the right people to be able to get your business to a place where it can become that kind of Black Tesco as such, or it's got that scalability factor as well, to be able to branch out and go to different regions as well, and that's something that I look forward to be able to be a part of through this project as well.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, actually, remember back in the day, Handsworth used to be all Jamaican, man, all Black. I don't know if you remember that back in the day. And then obviously there was something happened and it just we just gave it away. Gave like Handsworth Soho Road, we gave that away. When I was young, like I used to live there as well. Like I just used to see the Handsworth Carnival, everything used to be vibing down there, all of a sudden. That was just changed. Even Los Al's, when you go down to as far as Los Al's and Nichols and these areas, it's gone now. Right. So what's the process? So I've got a business idea. Should I come to you then? Or what do I do? Or do I start my business idea, then come to you?
No, so essentially the project, the Black Pounds project is always evolving. So the mentorship scheme, that's for businesses that are already set up and trying to scale their business. So you see how I mentioned micro business, small business, medium enterprise, large enterprise. So if you're kind of at a small business level and you're trying to get, if you're at a micro business level and you're trying to get to a small business level, you would apply for the mentorship scheme, because that's going to be the people that are actually operating medium and small, medium and large enterprises. They can feed that knowledge to you and help you to scale your business and help you to access the finance that you need and all that sort of thing. If you're more at a startup level, and then what I mean by that is you haven't really been trading for very long, or you're just testing the waters as such, then we have our startup program. It's all on the website as well. For, you know, so if people want to have a look, just look through the website, all of it's on there. So you got the startup course, that's a 5-day course, which is a digital course. You can do it on your own time, in your own way. And then if you want additional support outside of that, then we have the membership option, which is a yearly subscription or a monthly payment. I think it's $14.99. But for that $14.99, you get access to the whole BlackPounds network and all the resources that we have. So that's essentially the program. And then in addition to that, we have people that we have our service providers. So if you didn't necessarily want to be a member, but you need someone to do a logo, or you need someone to design a website for you, or help you to get more traction and leads to your website, we have service providers who can do that also, and as like an affiliate arrangement. So everyone that's involved in the project, I've personally met and I've personally screened them. Until I can kind of, you know, bank on someone else doing that for me, I'm going to be the one that kind of makes sure I know these people firsthand, and I know what they're about, because, you know, it's easy for, you know, your reputation to be scrutinized because of, you know, someone delivering a poor service. So I've made sure that everyone involved in the project is people that I've got a relationship with in some way or another, and so far they've delivered some great results.
That's awesome, man. Well, you said that your membership costs $14.99
each month.
It's monthly, but you can pay like yearly one-time payment.
Yeah, and obviously it'd be, I think it's £20 cheaper if you pay for the yearly subscription. So I think it's $150, I think, for the yearly subscription of membership. But if people look on the website, all the benefits are on there. So you have, with that, you can get, each month you can get support with your marketing, you can get support with your admin, you can get support with communications if you needed someone to do a blog, help you do a blog. If you want to look over your website, see, you know, how you can start getting some more traction and leads to your website. You're not, I mean, I'm confident in saying you will not find this kind of value for that price.
It's cheap.
A challenge. The reason it's cheap is because we want people to understand how to network and how to collaborate. It's not just about the money. It's actually about you kind of tapping into the project and all the resources and saying, you know what, I've gained a lot of value here. I really want other people in my community to also have a good understanding of their business model. One of the first steps we go through the membership is that you'll receive a phone call from an advisor, and they'll literally go through a 3-month action plan with you. So they will say to you, okay, here's a template. I want you to write down, you know, what you would like to achieve in this, within a 3-month period. So it's tangible. So we know, okay, we can hold you to account because this is what you're saying you want to do. That goes on our system. Then we say, okay, so you can either speak to your advisor and get them to kind of type it up for you, or you can have the template and you can, you know, create your own 3-month action plan. Once you've done the action plan, we want to sit you down with a business coach who can help you actually put tangible things in place to achieve those goals. Then once you've done that, you can either tap into the person who's got the expertise in marketing, get them to do, you know, some images for you or whatever it is. But there's a whole team, there's a whole network of people that are literally here volunteering for the project because they care and they understand that there's certain things we've been denied access to. And my ambition is that we can teach people the skills and then they can go on and teach others as well. You know, everybody doesn't need to have a membership. You know, you could literally just have one person in your immediate circle that's got the membership. They learn how to do the skills, and then they pass it back to their people. Do you know what I mean? there's enough out here for everyone. It's we've obviously got to charge for that service because we need to sustain the project as well.
Sure. And you should get paid for your work, man, your time. And that's what's the most important thing. You should never, when I first started out as a musician, I was a producer and do music, writing songs. And when I started out, I was never charging, man. I was sitting for 10, 11, 12 hours in the studio, working on different people's music. I never charged. And like 20 years later, where I'm like exhausted, I'm disgruntled, I'm disenfranchised, I can't be bothered with nothing anymore. Like, I look back and I think, how much money did I actually make from my music compared to what I could have made? Peanuts.
You think there's some, I mean, I feel like there's something in that though. I feel like we almost feel bad for asking people.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know why, I don't know where that's come from. I don't know why we think that, but I think we're happy to, from me, just from speaking to people that have approached us, it's almost like, we're happy to get people to pay for a product. So say it's something like, you know, say someone's creating some cakes or
a bar of soap.
Yeah, a bar of soap. We'll be saying, yeah, this is how much my bar of soap costs. Whereas if it's a service and it's like, okay, I can put together like you say, I can put together a track and mix a track for you, or I can give you some coaching or some mentorship. It's like we don't know how to charge for those services. But in the world, you know, and people on the project will tell you, the going rate for consultancy is like what, £60 an hour, £70 an hour for consultants.
Yeah, man.
So, you know, it's that kind of knowledge and confidence that we're really trying to build through the project as well. Just getting people to value themselves.
Yeah, I think that's something we can really learn from our opposites, you know, that it's not about obviously giving things for free all the time. Just show. I think it's also important to let people know there's actually worth. There's something going behind. Like even creating a beat. I know people look at musicians as a victim themselves. It's just music, man. It's easy. It takes like 2 minutes. You haven't really done anything, but there's a lot of work that goes into it, man, making it sound nice. And then obviously comes the revisions where people are complaining, okay, that doesn't sound right, and they're gonna bring it back to you. It takes over 2-3 hours to get it right. So yeah, man. Man. Is your service just digital? Is it just for like online startups, or can you use it offline too in the real world?
So do you mean in terms of if someone has a shop or a store?
Yeah, for example, yeah.
So I mean, at this stage, because it was very much born out of during the COVID period, everything is pretty much digital at this stage. However, once lockdown is lifted, we'll be looking to kind of go and visit places and get to know the people who are in shops and stores and you know, barbers or whoever it is, those kind of sole trader professions, and have conversations with them, let them know what we're doing and how we can help them. You know, we're really here to just join the dots. I think, you know, you look on Facebook, there's so many directories on there, and that's brilliant because it's raising awareness of the businesses, but let's make sure they're being supported at the same time. You know, it's all good raising awareness, but, you know, I can probably say the majority of those businesses in the Facebook group, you know, let's say they were to scale really, really quickly and start getting 200, 300 customers a day, a lot of them would fold because the infrastructure is not there and they would be overwhelmed. But I think we're so used to just staying in that startup micro level phase that getting 200 customers a day, 300 customers, you know, a day, 1,000 every couple of days, it just sounds really, really out of reach.
Yeah, it does.
Far-fetched. But that's how these small businesses, you know, medium-sized businesses, that's how they're operating, you know, and they're really, and they're just driving, and it's all marketing, and it's all generating leads to their sites, and that's all it is really, just having the infrastructure and knowing how to scale and how to scale at the right pace. But yeah, definitely looking to visit more locations and get to know the people, and you know, I like networking, I like speaking to people and supporting people as well.
Yeah, man, definitely. Is it open to internationals or just like UK citizens?
Oh wow, that's actually a really good question. There's actually a guy that's supporting the project who's from America. I've got 2 people who are supporting from America actually, but I think the branding would have to be slightly different. It would have to, or they'd have to be like a black dollar project, or make a different strand of the work to make it work in a different context. And I guess different countries and regions have different needs as well. So we'd really have to have people in those spaces that understand, you know, how the system works in those spaces. So at this stage, I think, yeah, we're looking to grow more regionally. You know, at the moment, most of our customers are coming from the Midlands region. But, you know, we do get a few from London, we get a few from Manchester, and we've had a couple from Bristol as well. So we're really kind of looking at scaling to the different regions, you know, eventually to the whole of the UK. And just want to be there, be present, and be visible, just like you do, I guess, with the podcast as well.
Yeah, and I think in England you have enough on your plate with just England. If you look at the African American community, I call us African Americans because that's what we are in it. All African Americans, man. There's a good portion obviously in Birmingham, London. Then you could even branch out if you want to the Indians, the Pakistani community, if you want to. I mean, they've already said they're quite set up though, man. But if they were like maybe just someone who didn't have any idea, they could come along. Then you got Manchester, you got Bristol, like you said. So you've got a few places to you know, concentrate on for now. So that's probably the best thing. And if you're looking to scale later, then you can say, okay, now we're going to go to, like, for example, I reside in Germany at the moment.
Okay.
For now,
nice.
For now, innit? I was like, you know what, let's do the Black Euro project.
Yeah.
And then you've already got Germany. There's not that many Black people in Germany, maybe about 1 million.
Yeah.
And they're all like situated in a few places. So I could probably hit them up really quickly. And then you got Germany on lock.
That's it.
So yeah, man.
And then on the website, you can just literally have just a section that talks about, you know, what's going on, just a page that talks about what's going on in that region, you know, who's being supported in that region, who are the members. And, you know, it's really easy to kind of scale it. But we just got to make sure we got enough people that can add that value to the businesses, so that they're not kind of just joining a membership that they're not getting much from, because we're like I mentioned about scaling too fast. You know, you got to make sure you can match the demand, and that's, you know, what we're really trying to do at the moment. Yeah.
How does your team go about when like someone's slacking? Do you have people call them up and say, hey man, we haven't heard nothing from you? Because that's actually that's something that's important. I find is like sometimes, you know, you start a business, you got a business. I've tried to start 1 million businesses, believe me. This is the one that's going to make it, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I'll make sure it does. I'll make sure you do. I'll hold you accountable to that.
Thanks. So there's always, you know, the period where you're like excited, man. You got like all this blood rushing through your brains. You got all these ideas. You write them all down, and then, you know, you start everything up. You build a website. You do all this stuff, and all of a sudden, like 2 or 3 months later, you think, I don't have any people come to a website, man. You know what? It didn't work. And then just like sack this.
Yeah. You gotta keep on it. I mean, fortunately with Black Pans projects, it's not like literally, and this is the craziest thing, I think I've only met one person in person from this whole project. Yeah, I haven't met anyone else actually, you know, other than my wife. I haven't met anyone that's actually involved in the project in person. They've all just been over Zoom and Skype for the last year, pretty much. So it's crazy in that sense. But in terms of holding them to account, I've got a really good board. So there are members that were on the board when it first started to get it to a certain point, and then a few of them may have gone off and just want to be coaches now. And then we get new board members in that are really passionate. And then, so now I've got a really good board. We do meetings once a month, but you also split them into teams. So you've got teams that are focusing on, so the board is consisting of 7 people. So you got your team board meetings every month, and then you split them in half. So you got board teams that are focusing on the day-to-day activity and delivery of Black Pans projects, and you know, looking at what the mentorship scheme's like and how people are getting on, capturing that data. And then you've got people who are focusing on the sustainability of the project. So how are we managing the finances? What's the best place for us to spend, you know, our income and so on and so forth. And then we've got our actual day-to-day team, which is obviously our social media managers, our admin department, and then our comms and finance as well. So it grew really quickly. So fortunately, I've just got really good people that knew how to make it, how to structure things so that there was actual team and focus.
Okay. Yeah, because that's another question I have is I've actually got Harriet Saunders. She's one of your members. She's coming on my show. I can't remember when, sometime in May, I guess. Because she does obviously the financing.
Yeah.
I don't know how I came across you guys actually. I think I found you on Instagram. I was like, yo, this guy looks good. But I think, I don't know if you know Sam Day in it.
Sam, yeah.
I think I found you Sam Day because you also know, you know, Nigel's actually my brother, isn't he? You know,
yeah. So yeah. So I heard about you because I thought, that's why I was getting confused, because I was going on to Nigel's podcast or the Love Sales one, and I was like, okay, got that one booked, and then I didn't realize you had your own podcast as well. So I was like, oh, there's two of them going on. Cool.
Yeah, we're twins.
Nice.
He was actually meant to come on tonight. I don't know what happened. I said, yo, I think it was because we changed it spontaneous to Monday, and he doesn't really like that stuff. So that's why you just ignore my message. So anyway, I got so the question was, is how complicated is it to get financing? Like, so I got Harriet Saunders coming on. She's going to talk to me hopefully about that somewhat. But like, obviously being our color, you know, if we go to a bank, we don't like to dress like, you know, in a suit and tie. So as soon as they got us, we're being judged, and then we don't speak the received English, you know. So they're like, okay, this guy's coming in with his dialect, his rags.
Well, for me, I mean, I'm not, like, by no means am I a financial advisor or anyone that can really say how to get finance as such. That's kind of the people in the project that have more expertise in that area. But what I would say is, I think a lot of the time we don't actually clarify in our own minds why we need the finance. And it's not just in our minds, but it's also, have we documented what we need the finance for? And that's one thing we really stress with the project. It's, okay, if you want finance, do you know what type of finance is most suitable? Because a lot of people look at grant funding because they say, okay, that's the government's free money. But in order to access that, you have to be showing, usually you have to, you know, show that you've been generating income for a period of time, and you have to show your turnover and all these sorts of things. So a lot of the time, the best thing to do, instead of trying to access finance in order to grow your business, you're better off working on those marketing strategies, those sales funnels, to make sure that you're actually comfortable in generating income, or you've got a plan in how you're going to generate that income, because that's what they're going to be asking for a lot of the time. How are you going to generate that income? What proof do you have that you can generate income that's going to match? So if we're doing match funding, how can you show that you can match the funding? What proof do you have? So I think a lot of the time we struggle when we're trying to access finance, because we're not actually confident in approaching it. Because remember, it's kind of, we have to think in reverse. These funders and these lenders, they're not looking for people that are kind of saying, can I have some money? They're looking for people that are actually saying, I can actually do this anyway, but if you want to be a part of this, you know, there's an opportunity for you to invest in what I'm doing. There's an opportunity for you to loan me some money that will allow me to take my business from here to here in a quicker rate than I would do anyway. And that's where we sometimes get a bit twisted. We think, my business is struggling a little bit, man. Let me just try and access a loan and see what I can do, or access some grant funding. But it's not really how it works. And I think, you know, the sooner we realize that, the sooner we'll start focusing on actually those marketing strategies, those sales funnels, and getting our products to a point where we're actually like assured in our product, and we're confident. Like a lady called Cleo, who I actually she's on our mentorship program, and I did a podcast with her yesterday. She, you know, first thing I asked her was, you know, tell me a little bit about your business and what you do. And she was like, I'm Cleo, and I make the most amazing vegan brownies. And because she's assured, she's actually tested and tried her product over and over again, received feedback on it over and over again, to the point she knows, if I give this brownie to someone, there's a very, very, very high possibility that they're going to like it. And then there's an even higher possibility that they're going to buy it again, because she's not only selling the brownies in her region, but she's also understood how to actually get her brownies being sold in every region as well. So she's focused, and she's learned the craft. You know, she's been through the mentorship scheme process as well to continually develop that knowledge. But she is self-sustaining her business. So if she was going to access finance, it'd be a lot easier for her to have those conversations, because to them, she could say, well, my brownies are amazing. People like my brownies. I really want to be able to maybe have a premises where I can, you know, cook my brownies from, so I can scale my business and hire employees and so on and so forth. Would you like to be a part of that? Would you like to invest in that? So it's yeah, we've got to kind of stop thinking about it. Please, sir, can I have some more? But more, I should have that. I should be entitled to that, because I've actually done the work and I've proven that my product or service is valuable and that people want it. So I think that's the best response I guess I could give on that sort of thing.
All right, man. Sounds good. Okay. I want to do, before I find out a little bit about your theatre stuff, because I want to find out a bit more about you, I want to do a crash course on starting a business from beginning to turnover. So my idea, of course, being Jamaican food shop. Where do I start? I've got I got an idea what food I want to make. Dumplings with fish, salt fish. What would you say? What would I do? I'll come to you now and said, yeah, I got this idea. I want a Jamaican food shop with dumpling, salt fish. It's going to be premium dumpling. It's going to be vegan dumpling, salt fish. Not even possible, but you know what I mean.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily know how to do that. That's the beauty about the project. I don't necessarily have to have the answers, but I know that people in the project have those answers. But
okay.
So what the thing I would say is apply to the project. That's all I could really say on that. You know, apply to the project. They will give you the answers. They'll give you the answers you need from the ground up. All I can say is apply to the project. That's what I would do.
So you heard it here first, man. Look, that's the back course. Yo, that's the back course.
That's it. That's it.
You got an idea? Come to Mr. Webley. and then you're good.
That's it. I mean, I could give a response. I could give my perspective on how I think you would do that. But I think a lot of the time we operate on speculation. But it'd be better to actually just go to the project, and we can, you know, look at who's done this and then say, okay, that's how they've done it, and that's how they've got to this level. That's what I'd be looking. Be looking for the blueprint, and I think, you know, and I know the project has the blueprint for that sort of thing, where you need to start, sure. You know, and what you need to focus on first. You know, you need to get your product tested. You know, make sure you've got your health and safety qualifications, and you know, you got your food and hygiene and all of that. You want to get all that sorted. You want to see what location would be good for your business to be set up in. You know, what are the overheads you're going to have to take out? You're going to have to invest some money into that premises, because, you know, yeah, you those are the things you'd want to consider. But I know that, like I say, through the project, it would be less speculation and just more, this is the process you want to go through. And so that's what I'll be looking to do.
Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with a hot dog stand, man. Just go into the city and with hot dogs. Get your hot dogs, man.
That's probably good it's probably a good thing, because you don't see any of that over here. So
yeah, it's quick. It's low startup costs.
That's it.
And trust me, you can sell hot dogs, man. Anything like burgers, fries, or chips, hot dogs. You want a winner?
Yeah.
I can guarantee you, Blackopolypse stamp full. You will make money if you do that. I promise you. I promise you. I want 20% of the profit. I always tell everyone, whenever I give them an idea, I want 20% of the profit. Okay, so you was in theatre.
Yeah.
So what did you do? Was you like on stage and stuff?
Me? No, that's what I do. That's my main job. Black Pounds Project is literally something I set up as a result of my frustrations working in the theatre. So I am a writer, theatre director. I've got a play on in May, 27th to the 29th of May on at the Birmingham Rep Theatre. I run a theatre company there called Lightpost. Co-direct that company with a guy called Mattis Andre, amazing movement director and actor and director. Yeah, so he's amazing, and yeah, we kind of work together. I mainly write, and he's acting in this play and also doing a lot of the movement directing and so on and so forth. So yeah, my background is that I was part of the National Youth Theatre, Youth Music Theatre when I was younger. Very much kind of had a lot of energy as a child. So just channeled, my parents kind of just channeled me into something, whether it was sports or drama or whatever. I kind of just stuck with that. And, very much when I was in school, I noticed that I was always quite good at English. I didn't have to try as hard with that subject as I did the other subjects. So I just kind of, rolled with that. Ended up going to University of Warwick to study theatre and performance. And then whilst I was there, it was more acting at that time. I was really into acting. And when I got to uni, I just realized that a lot of the stories that were being told just weren't really for people of color. They were just, that's how I felt anyway. I'm auditioning for stuff, but I just didn't feel the stories. I just couldn't really relate to it. So I started writing my own plays because, one, I wanted to be in them. But then I recognized that there were other people, who looked like me, and even from other minority communities that really wanted to have an opportunity to perform in different types of stories. So I started to write and provided opportunities that way. And then my first play was produced off West End in London, and that was in King's Cross, and that received 4 and 5-star reviews. It was a play called Shadows, about 3 Black men from all different cultural experiences, but they were all in the same prison cell in Winson Green in Birmingham. And that was a story where you're really thinking about, what does it mean to be Black? Is it the color of your skin, or is it literally your identity or what you resonate with? And then from then I just continued to write and have work produced, and that's where I am now. I'm still writing, still trying to move my career forward as a writer and an artist. So Black Pounds Project is something I'm passionate about, but it's never going to get in the way of my artistry as such.
Yeah. How creative writing, how hard is that? Like, and what does it entail? Like, how do you
creative writing?
It's just like you write one sentence and you're like, okay, the house, and then you just get creative with the house. Or
I believe, part of what I'm developing at the moment is a course to actually I believe everyone has a story to tell. But I just think sometimes they don't know the formula and how to tell it. So a lot of it is very much just pouring words onto a page. I think because of the education system and the way it's set up, and you think about right and wrong answers, there is no right or wrong in creative writing, because it's what you feel and it's what you think. There are stories obviously that are going to resonate with people more than others, but that doesn't mean it's wrong. So I think when we get to a point where we're actually just confident to put whatever we want to put down on a page, that's the starting point. And then we can start to think, okay, what is the story here? What are we trying to say? The first thing, I tend to do is think about a location. Where could this story take place? And then why is this character there? Is this character me? If this character is me, why am I there? And if you start the story like that, then you can really start to delve in deep, you know, about what's going to happen, you know. But it's the formula. It's just knowing where to start, and thinking about what you're trying to say. But I think, you know, I went into schools to work with a lot of young people because a lot of them are struggling with their English, you know, when creative writing, because of that reason of feeling like it's wrong, or, you know, like it's not good enough. And I believe everyone has a story, and your lived experience is going to be different to anyone else's, because you're the only version of yourself. So you have a story, and that's what I'm all about.
That's true. I'm going to send you something after. We did a project. It's called The Hidden Agenda. You probably came across it, but that was like, it was only a mini series, but it was written out, and I'm going to send it to you and you can have a look.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to touch on is the change for Black people in film. I don't know if you heard this discussion with, obviously there was this film that came out recently called, no, I don't know the name, The Black Messiah. Judas the Black Messiah. Have you watched it with
No, I haven't even watched it yet, you know.
You haven't watched it? You should watch it.
Not yet. I need to watch it.
Daniel Kaluuya. How do you say his name? Kaluuya.
Yeah.
There was a bit of a debate because obviously the British actors are getting the good roles, you know, in America, and the Americans are like, the American Black people, you know, I'm like, whoa, black man, yo, be happy that a Black person got the role. But, you know, American people, they kind of like, sometimes they hate a bit because, you know, they're patriotic or whatever. They think they should, only their people should play stuff. Do you have anything to say about that, man? Because I think there's actually a good future for British actors, especially, and even writers and producers, man. I think now is the best time. We've got to really utilize this time and constructively and wisely, because I think now is the time where we'll get a lot of chances, because, you know, there's a lot of white guilt, you know, like, we're gonna help them, man, because, you know, we've been messing around a long time. So I think the only
carry on.
I think the only problem is we've got to get rid of this infighting that we have, this black on black hate that seems to exist, and I don't even know why. And that's, you know, one thing that I'm going to try and concentrate on as well. So what do you think?
No, I think you've hit the nail on the head, really. It's we need to get past kind of, you know, being just hating, really. It's hating. You said it at the beginning. We need to stop hating on other people's accomplishments. You know, it's up to the director to say who they want in the film, and, you know, if he's delivering the role, and like you said, I need to watch the film, but I'm sure I've heard like rave reviews about how well he's done. And, you know, so if he's the right person for the role, and you know, people kind of just need to accept that and just work, you know, keep working. I think it's different if we're saying that Black people aren't getting opportunities across the board to do, you know, roles like that. But I don't think it really matters whether they're American or whether they're British. You know, I think if they can do it, I think that's the main thing, representation, and it's nice to see. So I think, yeah, it's just a bit silly, really, and I think we need to be a bit more forward thinking on that.
Definitely, man. Definitely. All right, man. I'm gonna let you go, man, because you got anything to say in closing? Actually, wait, let me roll the beat, because there's thanks for joining me, and you've got the floor to promote your business, your idea, your music works, I mean your creative works, your artistry, screenwriting, any plays you got coming up. Hit me and the followers.
Yeah, so if you follow me at CJ Lloyd Webley on Instagram, you can keep up to date with all the stuff that I'm doing in the arts theatre industry. If you follow at Black Pounds Project at Black Pounds org on Instagram and Twitter, you can keep up to date with all the stuff that's going on with the Black Pounds Project. And yeah, if you go to my website, cjlloydwebley.com, you can see all the stuff that I've worked on previously, and get in touch there as well. And the Black Pounds Project website is blackpoundsproject.org, www.blackpoundsproject.org. So get involved either way. I'm happy to have a conversation and see where you're at and support you in any way I can.
Yeah, man, sounds good. And the future's bright, man. Like I said, I know another guy, he started like Igloo Music, which is basically, I don't know if you know Simon Johnson.
No.
He started like a music hub, kind of like what you're doing, but for musicians. So all musicians can come together and meet and get like other musicians to help them on projects and stuff. So that's another good guy you should probably talk to if you get the chance. He could use your help. And yeah, I love your idea, man. I love your project, and we're gonna stay in touch. I'm gonna get you back on, man. When we were both like,
I look forward to seeing you grow, your podcast grow as well. I think it's great what you're doing and giving people a platform to share their stories. I think it's important.
Definitely, man. Definitely. As you can see the colors as well, man. Look at the colors.
Yeah, love it. Brilliant.
All right, man. Yeah, we'll catch up. I'm going to send you this stuff anyway over, and you can have a look, and we'll be in touch anyway. We'll keep in touch, and I want to get you back on in the near or far future.
Brilliant. Great.
All right, man.
Take care.
Yeah, man. Good night, man.
Bye.
Peace.